Hi guys. One of the super reflexes that we need to locate all the time because it's so incredible at working with virtually any condition, helping bring the body into parasympathetic nervous system functioning, rest and repair, relaxation, good for sleep, rest and digest, good for skin. So one of these reflexes is the solar plexus reflex, and I want to help you locate that exactly. So the solar plexus reflex represents a group of nerves that's behind the stomach, also called the celiac plexus. And it's actually, because it's below the stomach, we know that it's in the abdominal area. And so the upper abdominal area, which is in the upper arch as a reflex, it actually goes to a little peak like this under the ball of the foot. And here you can tell that there's an actual change in texture. If you were to move onto the actual ball, the skin is thicker, the padding is thicker. Sometimes there's a change in color. So you want to make sure that when you're finding the location for the solar plexus reflex, that you're actually below the ball of the foot and you're not crossing what would be this diaphragm line to get up onto the ball. You're staying in this convex curvature of the arch, at the peak of the arch, in the thin skin arch. And this is where solar plexus is. So if I want to actually press on the solar plexus reflex, if I'm doing double reflex stimulation for the solar plexus, my thumbs want to have the broad pad accessing the solar plexus below the diaphragm at the top of the arch. And so when I press into it and I ask my client to take a deep breath, I can watch the abdomen rise when I put my pressure in, and I can watch the abdomen fall, which is my cue to release the pressure. So that's accessing the solar plexus reflex. If I want to do it on one foot only, I can bring my medial thumb over. I can have my regular C grip like I normally do to support the foot. And I'm coming at the top of the arch, in this little peak of the arch. I'm staying below the diaphragm again. And here it is. And again, broad pad of my thumb. And I can apply pressure to solar plexus. Ask my client to take a nice deep breath. Pressure in with the rising of the abdomen and releasing the pressure when the abdomen falls. Okay, so this is the location of the reflex. Remember that it's behind the stomach as a group of nerves in the body. So here's the stomach reflex, and here's the solar plexus reflex. And it is not where people commonly make a mistake and go too high and they're pressing up into what would be now the pad of the foot. Don't cross over onto the rougher skin and onto the pad and into the convex curvature. You want to be in the concave curvature in the little peak of the arch. That is solar plexus.